Gentlemen, let's take a quick look at Iran. I want to keep these news segments very slow, calm, and short because the news is always a bit toxic. And I was watching Hassan last night. I was watching Hassan. I was playing Dota at night, and I was watching Hassan, and I don't know. I can't really get warm with Hassan. Hassan is very successful, the biggest news streamer in the world, yeah, but he felt very... And I feel like everyone is like that, everyone who does this job. He felt very childish. It felt very childish. Dota and Hassan, I don't know. I respect Hassan. I'm not like you guys hating him completely, but he felt very superficial and childish about this stuff. Asmongold, yeah, okay, it is what it is, man. Now, quick Iran video, let's go.
A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran.
First of all, the first thing I want to share about my personal opinion is, when I heard about the missile attacks, I wasn't even surprised, right? That's what the propaganda of this planet already did to our brains. We're not surprised anymore. It's like, it's just another day. They completely fucking made us numb to this kind of shit, man. It is insanity.
Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime. To the great, proud people of Iran, when we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations. America is backing you with overwhelming strength.
No one's even mad anymore. They can do anything they want now.
End quote.
Yeah.
These were the words of American...
By the way, why is no one giving Trump the Nobel Peace Prize? I don't understand it.
President Donald J. Trump, who in a video to social media in the early hours of Saturday morning, announced to the world that the US had launched long-expected strikes against Iran. In the 8-minute video, President Trump made his case for the operation, which the US Department of War labeled Operation Epic
Also, he is the FIFA Peace Prize
the Iranian regime had long been a threat, not just to the American people and their allies, but to the Iranian people as well, citing the thousands killed in the January protests.
That's fucking crazy, though. And that's something I, for example, felt weird about Hassan yesterday. I was watching Hassan, and he was very, very anti-America, right? Which I get, I understand that. And what America is doing here is really, really bad. I feel understand that. But he was kind of talking a bit like Iran is such a cute little country that really doesn't deserve to get attacked. Really?
Further claims that Iran posed an even greater threat these last months, as they were trying to rebuild their nuclear weapons program and were developing long-range missiles.
I think Khomeini dying isn't that important. He was like almost 90 years old.
Finally, he urged the Iranian people to overthrow the government,
like
a repetition of a call
made
during the protests. Shortly afterwards, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu posted a video to social media reiterating the same points that Trump had made about the threat posed by Iran, and also calling on the Iranian people to overthrow their government. Statements from the two world leaders came hours after explosions were first heard in Tehran, where, according to the Iranian news agency Fars, missiles had struck close to Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC headquarters.
Oh, if you live in this fucking region, don't ever buy real estate close to military targets.
Associated Press further reported that a strike had happened near the offices of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, indicating that America and Israel were attempting to decapitate Iranian leadership.
Iran killed 30,000 people in 2 days. I don't know any sources about that, but it's pretty fucking bad what they're doing in there.
In the initial strike. So, because 2026 has decided that we won't be catching a break anytime soon, let's examine what we know about the strikes, what we don't, and what these attacks mean for the wider region.
It's crazy how quickly the world has come. This video is now 18 hours old, and it's already kind of old, right? This video already is missing some information. The world moves so fast.
No. Okay, let's start with what we know as of the time of recording. It's just before 2 p.m. Central European time. I just finished my...
And that is, I like this guy, that is the real time.
Multiple...
Thank you, dog, for the 20. It happened. It happened. It's the 1st of March. I want to finally finish the Dota month February. I finally went below 3,000 subs. Thank you, dog, for trying to save this. I mean, you did save it for a long, long time, bro. We're finally below 3K, and yes, Reddit is right. Now I'm gonna take it serious again. Okay, okay. Thank you so much, dog, for the 20, man. Thank you, thank you. I got a gift for you tomorrow. Yesterday. I was getting you something yesterday.
Let's
wanna see it? I'm gonna show it to him. Because he's getting another package, right? Because he's such a big sublifter. I just want to show everyone what you can get if you gift 5,000 subs. I want to show you what you get. I got you the Warhammer 40k starter pack with 5 colors and 3 Space Marines, man. That's gonna be on its way to Ukraine soon, brother. That's what you get for 20 gifted, man. And you're gonna get so much more, my man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
That the attack began at around 8 a.m. local time in
Totally
Tehran, which, according to an Israeli security source
brother.
that spoke with Israel's Channel 12 News, was meant to surprise the Iranians, who wouldn't have anticipated the daytime attack. Nor are they.
Thank you, John Duca. Thank you. All jokes aside, honestly, I was playing Dota last night for 3 hours, and I just felt like, what are you doing here? I played alone, on my own, and from the bottom of my heart, I say it every stream, it's nothing new. The teammates, the Russian teammates, are on the lowest IQ spectrum possible. And I was sitting there at night, I'm like, dude, you're 34 years old, you have a child. Dota is fun, yes, but you're hanging out with these Russian complete fucking IQ dumps. The dumbest people of all times, man. It was unbearable, man. Unbearable.
The only ones. Over here at Warfronts, we'd been planning coverage for potential night attack for weeks, and now...
What is my opinion about the strikes? I don't care much anymore, because it doesn't affect me, and also I can't change anything. I don't have much... Maybe that was the goal of Steve Bannon all along, that we don't feel anything anymore. I don't feel nothing anymore. Yeah, they're bombing each other. Yeah.
Giving up our Saturdays on the first sunny day of the year. It's streaming in my window.
I was just about to say, he must live close, like Central Europe. I was the same. So yesterday I was just with my family, and it was the sun, and we're just having fun and playing. And I know these missile strikes are going on, but in my real life, I'm having the most fun ever. I mean, the kid is playing on the sun, everyone is having a good time.
Right now, you're welcome. Like this video? The source also confirms 3 other important details. 1, that the US and Israel had been planning this operation jointly for months. 2, that Israel was going to go all out during this operation, and that Washington was on the same page. And 3, that the initial phase of the joint attack was meant to last for 4 days. American officials who spoke with the New York Times corroborated the idea that Israel and the US would go all out, telling the paper that the bombing campaign would likely be more...
in the streets? I swear to God, where I live, this is the funniest shit ever. This is the problem with the left wing, why Trump is winning. So I live in a left wing neighborhood, right? And there's a lot of graffiti. And I'm telling you, I swear to God, like 2 minutes this way, there's a graffiti. Day 1, it was like this. Free Gaza. So that was on a wall, right? And I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. You're a fucking hero. 2 days later, I go to the grocery store and someone did this. From Hamas. Okay, cool. Yeah, you're fucking great. 3 days later, I go down there and it's like free Israel. Right? And it's just this, there's this infinite game going on the graffiti walls where every 3 days someone comes and goes free. I swear to God, the other day, the other day there was a graffiti that went free. And it was feminism, but he couldn't write it. Feminosum. I swear to God, they didn't know how to write. They wrote it wrong. And that's my neighborhood. And then it's like, no, free Gaza. No. And these people just every night they go around and they go, no, here's my opinion. Free boobies. And my whole neighborhood is just graffitis like this. It's fucking great, man.
Extensive non-operation Midnight Hammer, in which US bombers struck key Iranian nuclear sites during the 12-day war. At the moment, it's difficult to get a full picture of all the locations within Iran that were hit because, according to global internet watchdog NetBlocks, the government instituted a near-total internet shutdown. But what we do know indicates that Israel and the US are keeping their word. A source speaking to the Wall Street Journal said that the initial wave of strikes largely targeted military assets to blunt Iran's...
really a lot of unmanned stuff. Drones, rockets... No full-scale invasions and stuff.
Ability to respond, symbols of the regime, and intelligence targets. The most notable of these included Pasteur Street, a secure area of Tehran that hosts the offices of the Iranian president, the center of Iran's Revolutionary Guard and
We're gonna kill the president. He must be in a hidden location. Mossad, where's the president? He's in his office. Just bomb the office.
Intelligence leadership, the Supreme National Security Council, and other military institutions. Iranian news agencies also reported explosions in other cities. Isfahan, near the site of a nuclear complex that both the US and Israel struck last year during the 12-day war. Kermanshah,
90 million inhabitants, man.
Iran, home to an Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps base, and Shiraz, where the Israelis have alleged Iran has a large underground missile production facility. Al Jazeera reported that a renewed wave...
Sometimes I'm imagining, I'm going to sound very Western here, imagine like a fully capital fake democracy capitalist Iran, like Europe and North America, they will be a fucking powerhouse, man.
Explosions were heard in Tehran at around 1 p.m. local time.
But obviously the CIA is putting in the Muslim leadership so they never can develop, right?
Indicating that this would be a sustained
Syria,
operation.
all these countries, they would be so fucking strong if they were just corrupt like us.
Strikes
but there's a certain nation in the neighborhood that makes sure they never can evolve.
And that blackout has also made it difficult to get a full picture of the casualties, especially given that Israel and the US were explicitly targeting Iranian leadership. Iranian state-affiliated media, including Tasnim and Mer news agencies, are reporting that President Masoud Pezeshkian is safe, while Reuters are reported that Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has been transferred to a secure location.
Honestly, he looked very good for his age. I think it was, what, 86 or something? Looks kind of good for his age.
Prior to the strikes. However, an Iranian source close to the establishment told Reuters that several IRGC commanders and political officials were killed in the strikes. Israel's Channel 12 appeared to corroborate this report. Citing unnamed security sources, the outlet reported that the strikes had achieved very high success in targeting key senior commanders and that Israel was happy with the initial results. As of the time of writing, Israeli sources indicate that the leader of Iran's Revolutionary Guard, its ministers of defense and intelligence, and its lead nuclear negotiator are all among the dead. We should also note that while Iranian state media has acknowledged that the nation's president, its chief justice, and several other key officials are safe.
Dude, lately at night, I listen to this YouTuber and he makes like philosophical space videos. What could aliens look like, right? What is the Fermi paradox? I listen to this stuff. And I was just listening to this one theory, right? They're called zoo theory. Thank you, Dina. Where aliens are watching us and they're just like, holy shit, these people are fucking retarded. There's even a bit of proof for that. I'm really into alien stuff lately, but scientific alien stuff. And there's some proof for that, actually. But I don't want to get into that right now. And imagine you're an alien. Imagine you're an alien and you watch Earth and you see this, right?
Media has acknowledged that the nation's president.
There's a dude putting his picture on a rocket. These are the moments where I'm like, we're not ready yet to be contacted. We're not ready yet. Like shit like this, we just take this as normal, right? But no.
Its chief justice and several other key officials are safe. It has not yet said the same for the supreme leader. With the benefit of hindsight, we also know that Israel has been telegraphing this attack for a while now.
Also lately, man, I feel like Kim Jong-un must be a bit scared. All these fucking dictatorships, you can say a lot of shit about Trump, but he is fucking up these dictatorships, man.
Through their strikes on one of Iran's main proxies, Hezbollah. On the 20th of this month, the IDF launched airstrikes into Lebanon, killing several officials.
Imagine Trump would be the first person talking to
operations against Israel. The IDF also launched airstrikes on Friday, hours before the attack on Iran.
And dude, this is where I don't know. I'm now gonna be very polemic. I'm now gonna be very unscientific. One thing I never understand, Iran doesn't have a nuke. Fucking Kim Jong-Bugu has a nuke. You think Russia would have never given them a nuke in 50 years? How the fuck does Iran not have a nuke? Can't be that fucking hard. Everyone has a fucking nuke. That's why I'm always a little bit fucking... Really? They don't have a nuke, man? And it's always like, oh, they're so close. Since I was 10 years old, they're 1 week away from having a nuke. Oh, 1 week away. Oh. Eh? Even Pakistan has one? Yeah, like, what the fuck?
That according to
if you're Iran, don't you like go to the Kremlin? Hey, give us a nuke here. Oh, come on, man.
Ben Yeshai, an analyst at the Israeli outlet.
Why does Germany not have one? That's a very different reason. Germany, there's a very different reason.
Were intended to blind the organization's detection systems, which were meant to alert the Iranians to the Israeli Air Force.
I could have 2 KVs today if I played Millennium Dawn Iran, but unfortunately, Millennium Dawn is a piece of shit.
His departure for the preemptive strike. Afghan news outlet Tolo News later reported that Israel had carried out additional strikes on Lebanon against Hezbollah targets, which were meant to prevent the group from intervening. All of which leads us to Iran's response. Within hours of the initial American and Israeli strikes, the IRGC announced that it had launched the first large-scale wave of retaliatory missile and drone strikes toward Israel. Sirens blared across Israel as the military worked to intercept incoming fire, with preliminary assessments indicating at least 35 ballistic missiles were launched at Israel throughout the day. Some missiles were intercepted, others struck open areas, and one person was lightly injured by falling debris. But Iran
cares about trees? That's
did not stop at Israel. The IRGC confirmed strikes on American military installations across the Gulf, including Al Salan Air Base in Kuwait.
Did you see the speech where Trump was like, if some of you die, that's gonna happen. That's war. I'm sorry.
Al Dhafra Air Base in the UAE, Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, and the US Navy's 5th Fleet headquarters in Bahrain. Explosions were heard in Abu Dhabi, Kuwait City, Doha,
Jesus Christ,
even Riyadh. Qatar's defense ministry said that it had successfully intercepted Iranian missiles,
while
the UAE reported one civilian killed in Abu Dhabi after intercepting several missiles. The UAE called the attack a flagrant violation of national sovereignty and said it reserves its right to respond in full. Both Bahrain and Qatar also condemned the strikes, with Bahrain calling them treacherous. Footage emerged
already? Is that the one?
The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
From the Gulf nations shows what appear to have been successful hits in Bahrain and Abu Dhabi at a minimum. Critically, those hits did not impact oil or other energy infrastructure, suggesting that Iran has either declined to strike energy targets at this time, or its missiles have been intercepted. According to statements from multiple Gulf states, regional governments may now join the US offensive against Iran. The question now is what other options Iran has to escalate. As we mentioned previously, Israel is actively working to prevent Hezbollah from intervening. We also don't expect Hamas to intervene, given how decisively Israel...
I don't know anything. This is where I really have no info, but I feel like if you're Hamas and if you are Hezbollah, I think you're fucking scared to shit. Imagine you're Hezbollah. Oh, we are the great power of Lebanon. Allahu Akbar. We should invade Israel. Jonathan, should we invade Israel? Well, the other day I saw an American drone drive over my house. I don't even know if I can use my pager anymore. Well, we will bring death to the infidels. Am I right, Ali? I don't know, man. The CIA kind of called me in Discord saying they will fucking murder me if I do anything. I think they kind of know. They're going to get fucking murdered. That's the one thing you can't deny with Israel and USA, man. They fuck you, man.
Crippled their infrastructure following the October 7th.
$800 billion a year military expenditure in the United States. You're not going to fuck with them.
Attacks. The Houthis in Yemen, however, are an entirely different matter. After the strikes, they announced the renewal of missile and drone attacks on sea lanes and on Israel. Two unnamed officials confirmed the resumption of attacks to the AB agency, saying that they expected the first wave to happen as early as Saturday evening Israel time. The Houthis had previously...
It seems the way to beat America is just pull them into a long guerrilla war, right? Just let them bomb everything, right? Just fucking hide in a bunker. And then, like, come on, come occupy us. Let's see how it goes.
Suspended attacks on sea routes in the Red Sea and Israel as part of an agreement with the Trump administration. Meanwhile, in Iraq, Iran-linked militias are believed to have been responsible for a first round of rocket attacks, with more probably on the way.
Shut up. Next year will be 1.5 trillion. Fuck off. Shut up, chat. America is about to put 1.5 trillion into their military next year. Shut up. Come on, that is... What? It's 1 trillion this year. Come on. Dude, that's a Dude, what? That's a massive new investment. That's like they're preparing for a fucking world war. Thank you, Q6. I don't know if I can fully trust you there. Dude, imagine you're an American. They cut your food stamps, man. No healthcare, no nothing. But... we're now talking... Do you know what trillions are, buddies? Trillions into the military. They're preparing for China. Alter. When are the Americans finally gonna rise up, man? Shut up. Shut up. That is so... How does it even come into a brain? USA military spending 2026. 900 billion. I mean, that alone is already completely... Dude. That is so... Am I the only one that is like, dude, that is so fucking ill. That's so ill. Is there a list? Dude. Ain't nobody gonna beat no USA. Russia spending insane. 186 in Russia is terrible, right? They can't do shit. China might be a paper tiger. Dude, if the US... Imagine you would fuse nowadays USA with Adolf Hitler, man. You will have a problem, bro. You will have a problem. God damn, that is... I don't know, that kind of shocks me. Trump is the one that proposed 1.5 trillion. He must be trying to sell himself to his military-industrial friends, huh? Dicko, you have no health care. People can stay in a hospital room, but you put... That is insanity. The president of peace? Insanity. How much more do the people have to see before they fucking go insane? There should be millions protesting. I am shocked, man. I am shocked. And yet they only spent 700 million on medic aid, which was a public health thing. Didn't he actually cancel that? Dude, in my opinion, millions have to protest. Also, that is... I am completely shocked right now. 900 billion.
Obviously, by the time you watch this, we'll have a clearer picture of exactly which proxies retaliated and how. But as of 2 o'clock Central European time, this is as clear a picture as we can muster. Away from the battlefields, the international response has been interesting to watch. The British government announced that it had not participated in the strikes and did not want to see further escalation.
Well, it's Europe. Dude, one thing I hate though, right? When the strikes happened yesterday, I opened my German news website. And what was it? It was Ursula von der Leyen, the kind of leader of the EU, and she was like, hello, we condemn what's going on there. We don't like it. Dude, just shut up at this point. Just shut up at this point, Europe. Just sit down, do some economy, build civilian factories as you have no mills. Just stop. Don't say anything. Friedrich Merz, what's your opinion? Yeah, that's not nice what they're doing. No one cares. Just shut up.
Into a wider regional
Build
conflict.
civilians.
It added that it had recently enhanced its defensive capabilities.
It's very concerning.
The German government said that it had been warned in advance of the strikes and was...
Straight up, if Germany will do anything, they get a fucking call. Hello, who is this? It's me, Jeffrey. If you talk any shit about our invasion, we're gonna murder your whole family. We're gonna fabricate articles that you actually gave fucking kids. Dude. Scary times we live in, man. Scary. Does it come... Our brains are so fucked nowadays. 900 billion.
monitoring the situation while the EU's top executive,
Speak of the devil.
Ursula von der Leyen,
One sec. Confirmed Iran struck a French naval base in Abu Dhabi. Yeah, right now there are strikes going on, Chad, at the moment.
Wow. Wow. Wow, another one. Wow, shit.
Wait, I just received news. Wait, there's another article. France has just surrendered to Iran. Oh! Whoa!
Wow.
Apparently France just hissed the white flag in Paris.
Wow.
Goddamn.
issued a statement that it was crucial to prevent any actions that could further escalate tensions. So far, this was all as expected.
Dude, in all honesty, do you think Donald Trump sits in the White House and is like, what's Europe's opinion of this? I gotta be concerned about Europe's opinion. What's up with Europe here?
However, the UK's insistence that it wasn't involved suggests London is trying to maintain some distance from Washington's more aggressive approach to Iran, likely wary of jeopardizing its own interests in the Gulf or getting dragged into a conflict that could spiral beyond what Trump has planned. However, the most interesting reactions have been those of Iran's closest allies, Russia and China. Dmitry Medvedev, the deputy chairman of the Russian...
In my opinion, the most evil person on this planet right now. That guy needs to get fucking assassinated. Straight up, Twitch admin, you know it. Let's be honest for a second. That guy is the most evil fucking terrorist in the world right now.
Security Council wrote on Telegram...
Bro gets drunk on fucking vodka and then tweets we should nuke the world.
...that the US had shown its true colors and that the negotiations had never been genuine.
That guy needs to go,
Other than this
bro.
statement, Russia hasn't offered any support to Iran. China, on the other hand, hasn't even offered a statement condemning the attacks at the time of writing. And that's significant because just barely a week ago, Russia, China, and Iran held joint naval drills in the Strait of Hormuz
Russia ain't
under
gonna
the
do
Maritime
shit.
Security
Russia ain't doing shit, man. They just hit an oil rig in the Emirat.
Belt.
We're gonna check the Iran map in a
The
second.
exercises were supposed to demonstrate
And I want to make something very clear for the future if I do more news. This is getting a lot of views. People like watching me do the news, but it makes zero money because political content is not monetized. So I will actually switch over to Benel in a sec. I will not do the
actual
news
military
too much. I'm not gonna
cooperation
do that.
and signal to Washington that Iran wasn't alone. Yet, when American and Israeli jets began dropping bombs on Tehran, that partnership proved to be
Brother,
little
Russia
more
ain't
than
doing shit,
theater.
man.
A shadow play that was
This is why I'm always so pro-Ukraine, right? Imagine Russia would have actually beaten Ukraine in 3 days. There will be a big player in this. They will be a very big player. But that Ukraine is holding off Russia changes the geopolitical situation on Earth so massively into the Western favor, right? This is why I always believe we owe the Ukrainians. We fucking owe them. If they would have fallen, man, the world looked very different right now.
Insubstantial as silhouettes.
Who's playing Iran today?
on some distant stage.
I would think of playing
China's
Iran
silence is even more telling because, as Middle East Eye revealed, China has been delivering offensive weapons
if
as well as
Ukrainians your
additional
wife?
defense.
What? There's a lot of Ukrainians where I am, though. Dude, Lisa's dad said the whole dating websites, they're full of Ukrainian women. They're all here now.
Arms to Iran, with 3 officials familiar with the matter confirming the transfers. Even more striking, Iran was close to finalizing a deal for Chinese-made CM-302 supersonic anti-ship cruise missiles before the strikes began. The CM-302, which can travel roughly 180 miles and fly low to evade ship defenses, is specifically...
Lisa's dad told me that the problem with Eastern European women, like Ukrainian women, is they're very beautiful. They put a lot of effort on themselves, like makeup. But in their culture, which I agree with this might be a bit racist, but I think it's not. Like the Ukrainian women on average are more... Because of their culture, they look more for a provider. It's more important to them that the man has money. Not in a like evil way, like gold diggers. They're still good women, but this is like this culture, like even Russian culture, right? The women wants, the man has to have money, take care of me. A little conservative in that way, yeah. But if you have the money, man, you get like 1 blowjob a day. Holy shit, man. They're gonna...
Designed to target aircraft carriers. Reuters reported that while the deal was close, no delivery date had been agreed on. Iran was also in talks to acquire Chinese surface-to-air missiles, man-portable air defense systems, anti-ballistic weapons, and anti-satellite weapons. Given all these weapons deals and the joint naval exercises, it's more than ironic that China hasn't issued an official response to the attacks against Iran yet. Beijing clearly doesn't want a pro-Western regime in Tehran, but it also doesn't want to risk its relationship with Washington or the Gulf states by being seen as directly backing Iran during active hostilities. Okay, so that's all we do know at the time of writing. A quick overview of the situation as it stands at this uncertain, fragile moment. Next, let's examine perhaps the more interesting part. What we don't know. What we don't know. The bigger question hanging over all of this is whether we're looking at the opening stages of...
Europeans can't help but fetishize the Ukrainians they force into war. Sad. Buddy, you got totally dropped as a child. Your dad was bringing you up the stairs, accidentally dropped you, no one saw it, but since then you've never been the same. Holy shit, buddy.
Full-on regional war, or just
fuck?
another round of strikes and counter-strikes that eventually fizzles out. Right now, nobody knows. Regional leaders have been pushing for weeks to prevent a full-on war for the simple reason that the results could be catastrophic. Now, though, Iran has proved willing to attack the Gulf states, and by demonstrating that it regards those nations as targets, it's given them all the justification they need to try and preempt future strikes against oil and gas infrastructure. We also need to talk about the Strait of Hormuz.
Sometimes it feels to me, again, this is me being unfunded with any sources, that every time Iran attacks or retaliates, it looks like just a saving face moment. Iran maybe doesn't have the capabilities or not the balls to fully fuck with someone like the US. So it feels like all they do is just always saving face.
About 20 million barrels of oil per day pass through the strait, representing roughly 27% of global maritime oil trade and a fifth of the world's total daily oil consumption. If Iran makes good on its threats to close or disrupt the strait, oil prices could spike, which would have severe inflationary effects on the global economy. Higher energy costs could slam manufacturing in China, India, South Korea, and Japan, which depend heavily on the shipments through the strait. Those costs get passed down supply chains and ultimately to consumers everywhere, driving up prices for everything from gasoline to groceries. Domestically, for President Trump, this could be the ultimate example of shooting himself in the foot, because Americans are already, to use the technical term, furious.
Because Trump will just be like, I'm going to send a carrier group to the Strait of Hamas. I always knew it belonged to Hamas. We're going to rename it into the Strait of Donald Trump. That's what we're going to do. Everybody likes it. I talk to everyone. Everyone says it's a great idea.
About the cost of living crisis. We also don't know the status of the negotiations. While it might seem obvious that Iran would walk away from the negotiations given the strikes, there is a possibility that the negotiations can still be salvaged. We say this because on Friday, hours before the strike, Oman's foreign minister appeared on American TV to announce that the peace deal was within reach. Today's events obviously complicate the possibility of reaching a deal.
And here's straight, I know, I tested it.
And we should emphasize, the United States has a recent history of using peace negotiations as a veil for strikes, as it did during Operation Midnight Hammer in 2025. But if Israel and the US are unable to decisively defeat Iran or to cripple the regime enough that the public...
Can you guys stop giving me a massive view count? I don't want to do TommyKay news. I'm not... fuck you guys. I'm switching over to Bannerlord. Fuck all of you. You guys can leave.
Solution to this conflict. There's also the question of...
Biggest view cut I always get is when there's world news.
Go
watch Hassan,
Iran's
people.
government has been reeling from internal pressure for weeks now. The January protests represent the largest uprising since the 1979 revolution, and Tehran clearly views...
Germans, 2 days ago, I drove past a German courthouse, and the flag was on half-mast. And I was like, why? And you German, no?
...them as an existential threat, killing tens of
German
thousands of its
Hassan.
own people in...
I could be big in politics, but again, it gets demonetized. I could only survive if you guys gift crazy subs. So please give me all your money. Thank you.
Attempt to restore order. Trump clearly thinks the regime is vulnerable, which is why both he and Netanyahu publicly urged the Iranian people to overthrow their government. But experts are split on whether that's realistic. Narges Bajoli, an associate professor at Johns Hopkins, argues that the Islamic Republic has re-established control after the protests and shows no signs of immediate collapse. Meanwhile, analysts at RAND warn that while the regime can still suppress dissent through violence, the threat these protests pose shouldn't be downplayed because they expose...
just ask ChatGPT for an opinion. I often get this in comments, but I think you guys are morons. If you'll actually look deeply, what I use ChatGPT for is sources. I ask him to give me sources, which he then gives me. ChatGPT is a much better source giver than you guys ever are. Most of you guys are complete morons with no fucking brain power or the ability of source work. So, bro, you can't shit on me on that.
Keep weaknesses that
question
make
is how to use
long-term
AI.
survival uncertain. The regime's ability to weather this storm, in short, depends on several factors that we can't predict.
Dude, if I'm an
Will
Iranian
senior
soldier, I'm like,
IRGC commanders or
I don't really
political
want to fight
elites defect?
Americans.
Will the security forces hold or fracture under pressure? And most importantly, will the Iranian people rise up?
But you cannot deny that America as a culture probably also is a bit tired of occupying other countries, especially after the Afghanistan disaster. I couldn't imagine a lot of American soldiers are like, yeah, I can't wait to be in Iran.
Again, now that American
you probably have to
military
leave it at
power
a
has
rocket
weakened the
basis,
regime's
rocket
grip.
and air bases.
Trump is betting they will. But history suggests that external military intervention often rallies people around their government rather than against it, even when they despise that government. Then there's the matter of what happens if the regime does collapse. Trump hasn't articulated what comes next, neither has Israel. The precedent of Libya after Gaddafi or Iraq after Saddam should be sobering. Both collapsed into chaos, and neither outcome benefited the people living there or regional stability.
But again, right, Joe Rogan moment. What does this do for the US? These states, like Iraq and Iran, which have insane oil reserves, are in disarray. Venezuela, disarray. Why is it always the states that have all the oil? Play Hard to Find 4. You click on the resource map, Iran, Venezuela, and Iran have a shit ton of oil. They're not fucking bombing Turkey into shit, or fucking South Africa. And then they're in fucking disarray. No one can establish a good oil industry there. They need like outside help and stuff.
Iran is far larger, more complex, and more capable than either of those countries. A power vacuum in Tehran could unleash sectarian violence, trigger mass refugee flows, disrupt oil markets, and create opportunities for extremist groups that make ISIS
Romania is
maintain.
next.
That's not to say the current regime deserves to survive. We want to emphasize again that these guys just murdered tens of thousands of their own citizens, but regime change without a plan for what comes after has historically...
She slipped through my fingers like sand. Heard that she had a man. Now I'm just sitting here sad. Oh well, ship sail. She slipped through my fingers like sand.